Hi, and welcome to the Unknown Secrets of SEO podcast.
Welcome back. Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome to 2010.
It's going to be another banner year, 2010. 2009 was pretty awesome. We're going to kind of cover that here in a little bit.
2009 was definitely an awesome year.
How was your New Year's celebration?
It was cool. You know, kind of low-key, hung out with the family, went to a party, brought my 16-year-old nephew.
That's just wrong.
Yeah, he had a great time, though. So it was cool. Nothing crazy. How about yourself?
Cool. I was up in New Jersey.
Cali?
I was actually up in New Jersey for 2 weeks. This is the first podcast in a long time. So you listeners will have noticed a dead spot, and then now we're picking back up again. I was in New Jersey for 2 weeks through Christmas. I actually spent New Year's here in Houston at a Panamanian party. My wife is Panamanian, so those are always a good time.
Boy, I bet that
always
was an awesome time.
And then I was out in 2 weeks on a particular project in
right?
California. So I'm actually back this week because it's pissing down rain in California.
Oh, that's right. I have a sister, Robin. Hey, Robin, in Los Angeles. And I talked about 2 days ago. She says the power is out. And I'm like, why is the power out? Well, because it's raining. I don't get it. This is LA, and when it rains, everybody freaks out. So
yeah, it's kind of like when it snows here.
Yeah, when it snows here in Houston.
All right. Well, remember, you are listening to the most popular SEO podcast on iTunes. In fact, we now have 5. We've got 4 reviews on iTunes
and
5 ratings. So we actually have an average, so we look even more official than we did last year.
Yes. Thank you to everyone that took time out of their schedule. We appreciate that, and thank you. We really do appreciate it.
We love doing this podcast. We love the feedback, even the negative feedback, and I will get into that.
We did get some.
I'll get into that here shortly. You can stalk us. Everybody wants to stalk us. We're actually, our Facebook page, we're getting more and more fans of eWebStyle there. Thank you guys for that. Anyone who's not already stalking us, you can find us at twitter.com/eWebStyle. You can stalk us on Facebook. The easiest way to get to that Facebook page is e-webstyle.com/Facebook, because the Facebook URL is, frankly,
you won't remember it.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I haven't checked in a while. They were making some changes a while back. Also, if you do not know, if you are not watching us live right now, it's because you don't know that we broadcast our podcast usually at 9:15. Today is at 9:45. Had a little issue.
My bad, I'm late.
We're going to try and stick to that schedule so that you guys can kind of bank on Friday mornings joining us, because we really love to have you guys watching. Looks like there's a couple people watching right now. Hey,
what's up,
thanks
guys?
for watching. And, of course, these podcasts are then put onto iTunes, onto different podcast services, just as the audio podcasts. I'm thinking now that we're going to put these up actually on as video podcasts. How's that sound? So we'll have an audio podcast on iTunes and a video podcast.
That's very cool.
A lot more video stuff.
That's cool. We'll try. We're always into something new and exciting.
So yeah, so that'll probably happen, and we're going to start having these videos on our YouTube page. So YouTube has a 10-minute limit, so each thing will be broken down, et cetera. But you will be able to just kind of go in and watch us on YouTube, or all of our old stuff, all of our old videos is available on Ustream. So go check that out. Do we have any news for the day?
I have a little bit of news. I went around and was searching for news, and it was just the same old, Google, China. If you haven't seen this, Google and China are fighting right now because China hacked Google or blah, 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 or whatever. So it wasn't that great, so I decided to jump on the Haiti bandwagon. I thought this would be a perfect time. What I did last night, I sent a text message. I don't know if you've seen that, or you can text message 90999. I text message Haiti, the word Haiti, to 90999, and it'll ask you, do you reply yes if you want to donate $10, and I did. So if you haven't done something to help out the people in Haiti, this is my plug for the telethon or whatever. There's going to be a huge telethon tonight. So, send a text message, send $1, $5, $10. I did. I felt good about it. I kept saying I was going to do it, and I finally did it last night. So if you haven't done that, help the people out in Haiti.
Is that the Wycliffe telethon or something?
Tonight is the big multi-network,
like Larry King and
MTV, ABC, NBC, Fox. It's going to be everywhere. So take this time.
Patrick Wanis, they were trying to get him involved because he actually put together. Also, if you're suffering some loss or trauma from the experience of Haiti, there is a free audio file that our hypnotherapist client made. It's actually 2 files, so you can go in there. The biggest part, if you're contributing, we're finding that a lot of the people who are actually volunteering feel like they're not volunteering enough, and they're feeling the stress and sadness, and all of these things like survival guilt. These audio files, one of the big things is it just allows you to take 20 minutes. You know what? You deserve 20 minutes. Take 20 minutes for yourself. Listen to these audio files. They've got some great visualizations. You can actually find that at patrickwanis.com/Haiti, and that is Haiti. I think at least everyone will now know how to spell Haiti in the country.
Yeah.
I think most people
It took me a while, actually, when I was trying to send that text.
It's really confusing when people who speak Spanish say it, because it's IT.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, what? I work in IT. I don't really know what you're talking about. So, our thoughts and prayers go out to the people in Haiti. And hopefully, do something about it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then so I really don't, the whole Google China thing, I really don't know too much about what's going on. China hacked them and a couple other people.
I read a little bit about it, and I kind of stopped. I was like, whatever. It's just that Google got hacked in China somewhere. They don't know where exactly it came from. The last thing I read this morning was they don't say it was the government, but they're saying the government is not doing anything about it. So Hillary Clinton is really urging China to do something about Google getting hacked, and China was like, shut up, she called over there and they refused the phone call or something. So they're like, hey, whatever, leave us alone. We're going to do our own thing. So right now Google is kind of going head to head with China, the government, about not cracking down and finding out who hacked them, why they got hacked, and punishing those people. So it's a possibility. They're saying, okay, should we even stay in this market? I've heard that they're saying they're going to pull out, but right now that's kind of like, what should we do? Should we investigate this further? Should we stay here? What's it going to cost? Or should we just pull out of it? Because last time I read, they have a serious competitor over there called Baidu.
Yeah, Baidu. Yeah,
Baidu is the Yahoo of China. It's the second largest search engine in the world, actually.
There's a lot of people in China. Google just pulling out of that market doesn't make
so I don't think they're like, well, let's really think about this before we pull out.
We're thinking about pulling out, not really. All right, so a little viewer and listener mail, Gino Svagi, and I'm sorry, I may be butchering the name. It is Svaghi. He's from Australia, and he says, come on, guys. The first 10 minutes of your show is just, well, he's Australian, so I know what he's really saying. The first 10 minutes of your show is just crap, right? Let's just get all the BS out of the way, because Australians, one of the things I really appreciate, Patrick Wanis is also a friend of mine. He is from Australia. They just tell it like it is. Like, if they don't like you...
Patrick definitely tells it like it is.
They're just like, I don't like you.
Yeah, I don't like you.
I really, I'm having my beer here. You're sitting in the chair next to me. I don't like you. You really should move, or I'm going to. In America, we don't do that so much. We just maybe turn our back and snicker or whatever.
We'll talk behind your back.
Yeah. Australians are just right up there. So, Gino, we really appreciate your input. We're going to absolutely weigh it with all of the other good input that we're getting. But
thanks. Thanks for being honest.
And we're going to have maybe a Gino time limit.
Okay.
Right? I think we met the Gino time limit.
Okay.
All right, back. Here we go. Here's the real podcast.
Let's go. What are we covering today?
Today is the year in review. We're going to do 2009, the year in review. Just to recap what we did last time, remember John Reynolds of southwest of Western Australia, which is actually not in the Pacific Ocean. It is actually a province called Western Australia. Go back and listen to the last podcast if that sounded even remotely confusing, which I'm sure it did. He said Google admits there's 200 signals or factors that they weigh in when they're determining the rank of a particular website. And he said, I know content, keywords, and links. What are the other 197? And this was such a great question last time. We found out a 25-page article. It's really good article published by SEO Moz. And
just tons and tons of other SEO techniques that you probably did not or had not heard about.
And so we started covering that, which is kind of our attempt at addressing John Reynolds' question, and we're going to cover that next time. Now we want to do the year in review. And we got a couple things. This was a great year for our podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Our listenership is way up. We really do appreciate you guys. Please keep the emails coming in. I didn't mention that. You can email us at podcast@e-webstyle.com. Send them in. Just like Gino, you're going to get on the air. By the way, Gino is at least the domain name with his email is etrack.net.au, which is of course an Australian domain name, and it's just a coming soon page. He doesn't have anything up yet, so that'll be in our blog. So Gino, you're going to get some backlink traffic for that. Anybody who wants to write to us, we're gonna bring you up, and you're gonna end up getting some backlink traffic. So you get some backlink love,
backlink love from eWeb Style. Which is important. Which is very important.
It's actually the most important thing.
There you
isn't
go.
it? Yeah.
There you go.
So we thought let's cover. We talk continuously. We talk about different clients. We talk about the things that you need to be doing on a regular basis, and we think we do a pretty good job of stressing those things that are very important. Here in our 2009 year in review, we want to just kind of reiterate, re-emphasize those things. And, frankly, some of us were like a little surprised at how important some of these ratings factors were, and we'll discuss why they are so important. We also want to talk a little bit about, the other huge thing probably through 2009, starting in 2008, social media.
Yeah.
And all the different forms and venues and access and stalking and everything that you can do with social media. Why and how should you be doing it? What should you be doing? And so we want to talk about that a little bit. So you've got top 5 ranking factors
here on my wall, and we've covered tons of topics. We probably covered 50 different SEO concepts or techniques. And we wanted to break it down into, hey, what should you be doing at the absolute minimum for your website? Because we talk about so many different things, you'll probably get confused. At the absolute minimum, here's what I say.
If you're going to do nothing else,
yes,
focus on these 5 things.
Exactly.
And by the way, we do have podcasts, I think, on all of them but one. This is a list of actually of all our podcasts.
Oh, wow.
This is podcast number 44.
Podcast 44. Wow.
44. So
that's awesome.
That's really good.
So at the minimum, out of all the things that we talked about, here's 5 things that everybody should be doing. We'll probably even get into a few more. Here's number 1: keyword-focused anchor text from your external links. I myself knew this was important.
Say that. That's confusing. What was that again?
Keyword-focused anchor text from your external links.
So not internal.
Not from your own pages. From johndoe.com is going to give you a link. So johndoe.com is going to give you a backlink from their website onto your website. The anchor text are the actual words that johndoe.com places on their website that'll bring you back. So for all of your blue one-arm widget needs, go to blueonearmwidgets.com, and then blue one-arm widgets would be in
the anchor text links to.
If you need a blue one-arm widget, you're going to get it here at blueonearmwidgets.com.
And this is one of the ones that surprised you. That you're like,
I knew it was a good.
We
factor.
talk about it all the time.
I didn't know it was like one of the top 5 factors, and this was listed as number 1. So even I was surprised about this. So
the example that we often use is in relation to internal links. You have the text. Most people use the text home to get you to the home page. And remember that in this example, your home page is not about home, right? It's not about homes. It's not about the word home. So better anchor text. I mean, we're not suggesting you don't have home because that's actually kind of user-friendly.
Yeah.
But better anchor text back to your home page would be blue one-armed widgets if that's what you sell, so that Google says, hey, at the end of this link is information about this text, and blue one-armed widgets, boom. So that's internal. When you go external, then Google will see more value in that because it's an unbiased source.
Okay.
Right? So it's a situation where, okay, again, John Doe has a website. He loves blue one-armed widgets, is maybe going to try the red one-armed widgets. But if you want a blue one-armed widget, go here because that's where he got it. So it's an unbiased source. Google gives a lot more weight to that. In fact, we figure it's the number 1.
Now, what about, let's say you're like buddy John Pavlakos out there. Hey, John, that's a nice plug for you. And you're like, okay, how do I determine anchor text that goes on somebody else's website? Because that's what the first thing that comes into my mind. He's going to put anchor text on his website. How do I influence that? Because he's going to put it up whatever he wants. What would you say to, I'm John Doe, I'm doing my own link building. I mean, can you suggest it? Hey,
Yes.
can you put me up on
So
here?
here this really boils down to, one of the jobs that we have as an SEO company, which is, because there's so much value in external links, we want to make sure that those external links that we're providing for your website have that value. So you end up working on building relationships, and you end up building new relationships. So if it's John Doe who's done it, make some sort of tit for tat arrangement. Maybe I can give you a link back if you just change that text, or you know what, hey, I really appreciate that you appreciate my business. You could really help my business, and you send this in an email or you make a phone call. You could really help my business if, instead of just saying widgets and linking back, that you actually specifically say blue one-arm widgets, because that's the only thing I sell, and that's going to have more relevancy for my business. The other thing is, if your business was, BOW, and he said, oh, find blue one-arm widgets at BOW, and BOW was the actual link. Hopefully that made sense.
Yeah.
Then it's better actually to have the blue one-arm widgets as the actual link. So you can, give them a call, send them an email, say, look, I really appreciate your backlink. Could you, make it a little more effective for me? And, maybe you offer them a discount or
Could
something.
you use keyword focused anchor text
On your external links.
That's not spelling it out.
So that's a great question, and that's how you do it. I mean, this is, ironically, in all of this electronic age, it's about relationships. It's about, making that personal connection, and that the plead, the begging,
there you go.
to make it happen.
All
So
right.
that's number one.
Number 2, external link popularity. Explain external. Everybody at this point, I won't explain external links. I think everybody knows what they are.
So external link popularity is just going to be about the population of external links that you have.
Okay.
So again, that's one of the big deals that we do. This is one of the reasons that we're in business, because building external link popularity it's not rocket science, right? Sending an email to a guy, or posting on certain forums, that's not rocket science. It's just incredibly time consuming. And if you're doing it and you're doing it wrong, you're wasting your time. So spending a lot of time, because it's time consuming, and wasting all of that time is why you hire a company like eWebStyle or any other SEO company, or just link building companies.
There you go. And also, you want to watch who you're linking to, and we've talked about that before. You want to go after people with a high page rank or high search engine score. I mean, different browsers or tools call it, Alexa calls it Alexa rank or whatever.
Yeah.
You want to go after people with a quality search engine score.
Right.
Because that could, it could harm you. How you link, remember, it could help you or it could harm you. So make sure you're doing that properly.
And so what that really means is kind of like, as opposed to getting a nice link on John Doe's website, you'd like it on MSN.
There you go. Oh, hey, there you go.
MSN homepage, linking to blue one-arm widgets to your website, significantly more valuable to Google than John Doe linking back. So.
And if you get a link from MSN, I need a phone call.
Yeah.
ASAP.
If you've got that hookup.
Seriously, though.
We need to talk.
And this kind of goes into the next topic, would be diversity of link sources. Where you get all of your links coming from the same
domain.
There you go.
Yeah. So
the same domain.
And this kind of makes sense, because how, if we know that external links are valuable, how hard is it to set up a new website designed to have some sort of information on it, and its main goal to link back to your website? And Google recognizes this.
Yeah.
So if you've only got one or two websites that are linking back to you, then there's not much value in that.
Exactly. And then why we've talked about this before. Watch out for link farms. And you should know this by now. You don't want to get involved with a link farm. A website with just link. They're not related. Stay away from it. That can definitely hurt you.
It's annoying to customers, and it's annoying to Google.
I don't see them too much, but every so often I will see one. They used to be just prevalent all across the internet.
I had a good quote for what SEO's responsibility is, and I think it was last time. And as an SEO, the efforts that you're making for SEO, your responsibility is to provide a good experience to the Google user.
Okay.
Right? So if a link farm is something that you're trying, and you don't like them, and no Google user is going to like them, then don't mess with them. Right? If you're gonna put some sort of link with, maybe you're using blue one-arm widgets, but you're selling something else. that's not a good experience for Google. So
It's not.
if you're out there creating bad experiences for internet users, you're creating bad experiences for Google users, and you're not going to do well.
Yeah, and remember, I like you brought that up because remember you have to balance. SEO is kind of like you have to please the user, and you have to please the Google bot. For example, you got to get the search engine to return your website. So the search engine has to like it. But if you're on the first page, first position, and your website sucks and you have no content, which happens, then the visitor is going to bounce. So remember that. You got to kind of balance that.
And that's what we call it, SEVO.
SEVO.
That's search engine visitor optimization. So how can you turn your website into something that is actually a good experience for the search engine visitor?
Okay, what's up next? Number 4, keyword use anywhere in the title tag. Okay, this is another one. I was a little shocked. I knew it was a factor. I did not know it was this important of a factor. I think it's pretty straightforward. Keyword use keywords.
Well, if it is and now here's the classic mistake. You're making your own website. It's your own business. It's the BOW business, and you put welcome to BOW as the title of every one of your pages, right? Which seems to make sense, except the title of the page, in the classic sense, a title of an article isn't about the business that wrote the article. It's actually the title of the article and the information in the article. So that's what Google sees it. So take the time, and this one simple thing can make a big difference in your search engine placement. And that is, what's relevant, what's the information that's going to be available on this article, on this web page, put that in the title. So if it's about blue one-armed widgets, then blue one-armed widgets. In fact, SEO people argue that it needs to be early on in the title. So you don't want a bunch of text and then blue one-armed widgets. You want blue one-armed widgets, available now or something.
Okay, so if we could use it first, it would be better than having it as one of the last things. So.
And that goes to, we talk sometimes about density and prevalence. So how early is it shown in the text and how dense? Maybe you mentioned blue one-armed widgets twice. You want to make sure that you're not stuffing it, because it's not good either, but make sure
yes,
having it more than once is good.
Don't keyword stuff anywhere, not in your title tags, anchor text, nowhere.
Yep.
And another one, the number 5, trustworthiness of the domain based on link distance from trusted domains.
One more time. Trustworthiness of the domain based on link distance from trusted domains. This goes back to the external links coming in. If you've got MSN, who is clearly a trusted domain, linking to your website, then you're one step away from a very trusted domain name. If it's MSN and then John Doe and then Bill Smith and then you're a couple steps farther away. And then of course there's lots more longer paths that you could be away from a trusted domain. You want to be close to trusted domain, and basically that's saying those websites with good PR rankings or good Alexa rankings that get good traffic, that are quality that people respect. The closer you can be linked to them, the better.
Yeah.
And that's factor 5. So it looks like 3 of the factors of the top 5 are actually related to links, right?
So I would say links.
Link building is one of the biggest things that we do.
So to John Reynolds in Southwest Australia, there you go. Like link, and I know most people only know 3 or 4, maybe 5 SEO techniques, but that's proof positive why links is one of the most important and popular SEO techniques, or anything involving links is very popular. There's other things that are good, but links are way to go.
I think it's kind of even this starts to answer John Reynolds' question. I know of 3: content, links, and something else, and keywords. But really, links are not just links. So there's internal links, there's external links, there's the page rank of the link coming in, there's the keyword anchor text of the link as it's coming in. There's so many. It's not links. It's not just one of the 200.
Yeah, I got you.
It's like 10 or 20 of the 200, based on all the different kind of factors, different ways to look at links. So it's a great question, and we're actually going to continue that.
Let's add our own to it, because there's more than this that we think you should be doing. Remember, we're going after what you should be doing at the absolute minimum, because most of you out there, our listeners, are are, running your own website and trying to do this piece it together by yourself. So what can we add to this? I know we think there's more than this.
Well, I think that's a good list. I think let's kind of stick to our kind of year in review.
Okay.
Right. So the next thing.
I thought we were gonna add social media.
That's what we're going to do.
Okay.
Yeah. So the year in review is, the other thing that you do want to do is social media. You're exactly right. So we're on the same way path, just speaking a different language.
Different way. Okay.
And hopefully, this is a language that Gino over in Australia appreciates. So the next thing is, social media. Now, frankly, when we started 09, we were doing one social media thing, and that was the podcast, right? We started that in the latter part of 08. All through 09, and then now we've evolved. So here's what we're doing social media-wise: Twitter, Facebook, podcasts, video, Ustream, live Ustream, YouTube, and then we're going to go into a video podcast. So all of those are social media, and the SEO rapper said it best, right? He's like, if they're not finding you at your website, and they happen to be finding you at Facebook, it can only happen if you're on Facebook.
There you go.
And at least they're finding you.
There you go.
So it really is not should I be doing Facebook? It's you or social media in general. It is you've got to come up with some sort of program and make that happen.
Okay.
It's got to happen.
I like that. And one thing is when you said should I be doing Facebook, that I just thought of actually when you were talking about all the different social media that we're doing, social media is more than Facebook. And even myself will forget that. It's more than Facebook and Twitter.
Well, we were looking at a website the other day that had this row of like 8 by 5, so over 40 different ways to be socially connected to a particular article. Dig, stumble upon, LinkedIn, delicious. I mean, there are so many different things to be involved in. So you really want to. Facebook's huge right now. Twitter's huge right now. So if you're really going to do anything, you kind of want to be doing some of those. Remember, as a business, and this is something that we're really working towards as part of the reasons that we do this podcast, is you want to establish yourself. I mean, there's lots of talented people in whatever business you're in, but you want to establish yourself as the expert, as at least one of the experts, or as an expert in that industry. And this iTunes podcast, the most popular SEO podcast on iTunes, it works to do that. So people start to understand eWebStyle as experts in search engine optimization. You want to do the same thing for your business. So maybe it's starting a podcast. Maybe it's, maybe it's just, being consistently active on your Facebook page or your Twitter, so that the more people, when people start thinking about blue one-armed widgets, they think about you, if that's what you did. Or, in our case, if people think about search engine optimization, they think about eWebStyle. So, those are kind of the reasons. And, in all of this electronic age and all of this, it still boils down to people. Like, people want to know that, eWebStyle can be a big company that is a machine at cranking out high rankings, but people don't really want to deal. They kind of want to deal with it, but they really want to know, the people behind the mask, the people behind the curtain. From
they want a personal relationship with who they're going to do business with.
Yeah. So, that's what we recommend you to do. That's what social media is all about, and it works really well. So, I think our time's up. So this is another great podcast. The end of 2009. Now we're on to 2010. We're going to keep covering John Reynolds' question and some more details about the things that affect page ranking. And
I have a couple people I'd like to say hello to John Pavlakos. I gave him a shout out earlier. He sent me an email in Christmas. Hey, thank you for the email, for the holiday well wishes. John was actually the very first person that ever sent us an email.
Oh, cool.
I can't remember his website, but I remember he sent us he gave us an iTunes review, Dr. Video. Thank you very much, John. To Jignesh and to Todd at Costa Rica Real Estate, thank you for the analysis. I got those to you. And thank you for everyone that listens to the podcast, man.
You mentioned analysis. Yeah, if you want a free analysis of your website from a search engine optimization perspective or from a web design and development perspective, we really kind of blend them both.
Yeah.
But go ahead and go to our website. Go to e-webstyle.com. When you get there, click SEO, And at the top, there'll be a place where you can give us a call. Go ahead and give us a call. That's fine. Or a little bit farther down is a kind of a smaller link. We'd rather you call us. But there's a smaller link that links to a form that you can submit if you don't really want to hop on the phone or whatever. Or if you're, in another country, because a lot of our listeners are in other countries. So.
Ooh, hang on. One person. Two more. Personalgrowth.com. Scott and Leanne. Thank you very much for your listenership. They did contact us about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. So thank you for your listenership, and we're looking forward to speaking with you guys again.
All right. Well, you are listening to the most popular SEO podcast on iTunes. This is the end of podcast number 44, the beginning of 2010. Thank you guys very much for listening. Until the next podcast, I'm Chris Burris.
And this is Paul Hansen.
Bye-bye for now.